All right, so let me go ahead and get some pictures before I go too far here. So this is the tank I'm using. It's actually a pretty good size tank. It's a hot water heater that was a gas, and of course it had the pipe going through the top right here and the bottom. And so I've cut that pipe out. That's actually the size that you can use for the vent, and as well as the tube to stuff thermoplastic in. I just happen to have a whole piece of pipe that, so anyways, yeah, this is actually the top. This is where the stuff tube's going to be for dropping in plastic. And I've got a new idea for that, which is really cool. And then there's going to be one down there for the exhaust. And so this hole right here is actually going to be just a flap. It's going to be a inspection flap and a light flap. And so I'm thinking I don't have to really seal that off because I'm going to be drawing air through there anyways. And then down here's my burn bowl hole, which is right here, which is the other one I cut for the other one. But I'm going to raise this tank. It's going to be a horizontal tank, and I'm going to raise it up 14 inches off the ground. So that burn bowl will be about like that. And the tube, the drop tube for the thermoplastic is going to drop down and be even with the bottom of this hole. And then the burn bowl will go around it, up in it. And then you could, if you wanted to, you could just fill that up with burning plastic as high as the bowl goes. So, I mean, you could. I'm thinking I'm not going to need to do that. But so yeah, so I've got to weld my stack on here, my stuff stack for the thermoplastic, and then I've got to put a vent in it down there, which I'll get a picture of that later. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld the vent stack on there, and I'm also got legs that I'm working on. So I'm gonna raise this up 14 inches. So I gotta weld those together, and then that tank will sit on it horizontally, and you'll see what's happening with that. And then these two holes, those are gonna be my vent holes to adjust how much oxygen goes in the burn bowl, is my thought. We'll see how that works out. And then I've got a couple plugs down here on the bottom that I'm just going to plug. One here, one here. That one's already plugged. And then I got one down there. It's already plugged. So I'll end up having to plug this one here. All right, so let me do this and I'll get another picture. Okay, so I've got the legs on there. I got to finish welding them to the the tank. Yeah, right. You can see kind of what's going on there. This is the fill tube for the thermoplastics, which you could, I'm going to weld this. I'm going to weld onto this, and you can add it up. I mean, if you wanted to get it up 12 feet and you wanted to feed it with a ladder, you could do that too. Or you could run it out of the roof, really, honestly. Feed it in your roof. So you could really stack it up for a lot of burn. So yeah, over here on this side, I've got to weld that hole to close, and I've got to add a stack right here, a smokestack. And over here, like I said, I got to put a flap on this hole right here so I can light my bowl or whatever, and actually do a visual on what's going on. And I'm hoping the air draws out of that up to the stack and not out that hole. So we'll see. All right, I'm going to finish this up and I'll shoot you some more pictures. All right, so here's the finished product before I fire it up. So just wanted to show you. So there's where I'm going to put the plastic. That's the smokestack. This is my venting on in my U-tube on my burn bowl, so I can see what's going on. And this is where my burn bowl goes, which goes in from the bottom, and then I got to put a stand on it. And welded up both holes, the bottom and the top. All right, so I'm going to turn it over and start firing it up, see what it does. I'll take a video of that. All right, so I got this thing fired up. I've got flame You can see it through there. And it's feeding. It's feeding plastic through the tube. And so I'm trying to see how hot I can get this thing. I think what I'm up against is that the thermoplastic will burn. Sure, it'll burn, but it's only burning the top layer of the melted thermoplastic. And so that's the total heat that I'm getting. Even if I feed more thermoplastic in it, it'll last longer, but it only burns that top layer. And so I'm trying to see if I can cook on this thing just with that layer burning. And I haven't figured out quite how to get more heat. I'm trying to avoid adding air, and I want it to burn slow. So I'm trying some things like capping off the exhaust to see if it holds the heat a little bit better. That tank over there, it's smaller. I may just lay that down horizontally and try to redo that one and turn it into a horizontal burner. I've tried closing off the vents, but it actually doesn't help. And so right now the air is sucking in like I thought it would through these 3 openings, and I'm not getting the exhaust out, which is exactly what I figured it would do. And then it's burning, and then the exhaust is coming through the tank and out the exhaust. So I may tomorrow weld a plate on here to catch a little more heat off the top. I'm actually going to try to fry an egg here in just a little bit and see what happens. But I can see my butter's melted, but I'm not hearing any critical, cracking sound. I mean, it's probably hot enough to cook an egg. I'm going to throw an egg in there in just a minute and see what it does. But I'm sure people want to eat more than just eggs. So it would certainly warm up a meal, though, is what I'm thinking. So, all right, let me try an egg and I'll take another picture. So there's my egg. Not necessarily what I thought I would get out of it, but I'm not done yet. So, it took a little while to kind of get the other one right. So I just gotta play with it a little bit. Kind of make sure. I think with that plate tomorrow, I probably could definitely get some more heat going, because I can't hold my hand on this thing. I don't know where my temperature thing is, but I'd say, I don't know, 250 right now, 2 1/4, just guessing. I don't think that's hot enough. So we'll see what happens. I'll work on it a bit tomorrow. All right, so yeah, the pan wasn't doing it, so I thought I'd just dump the egg on the top of the heater just to see what would happen. And guess what? It's cooking the egg. It smells pretty good too. So yeah, I've got some work to do. I guess I could turn the top into a cooktop. I mean, we'd have to clean it up and wash it, but I guess that would work too, wouldn't it? Not even use a pan. Interesting. All right, we'll try some more options tomorrow. So yeah, I cooked the egg on top. How's it look, man? Pretty decent, huh? Would you eat that? You would if you were hungry. So yeah, I may just have to make a cooktop on this, and not use a pan. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.